My name is Frans Viljoen. I am at the Center for Human Rights, University of Pretoria, and very happy to be here at STIAS for the month of October 2020.
I'm Toit. I'm from Stellenbosch University, teaching French and comparative literature in the Department of Modern Foreign Languages.
So I think we are here to work collaboratively on something that can broadly be determined law and literature. So I'm the law and Katrine is the literature, but in a way we are also mixing it up. The idea is that we're looking at a particular treaty adopted by the African Union. The treaty is an adjunct to an existing treaty, the African Charter. So it's called Protocol on the Rights of Older Persons, Protocol to the African Charter. It's been adopted in 2016, and it kind of gives a guidance to a member state of the African Union how to create a threshold of protection for the rights of older persons. It requires 15 states among the 55 AU member states to ensure that it enters into force. 15 states have to ratify this treaty. Up to the present, only 2, regrettably, have done so, Benin and Lesotho. So, from my point of view, it's kind of putting on the table, is perhaps one of the reasons why states have not ratified this treaty, the fact that the kind of conceptualization of old age in the treaty is at odds, is not quite in line with the so-called lived experience of African people. We know that that's a bit of a generalization, but we try to focus in on this topic. And we do that by essentially saying, let's look at the contemporary African literature in English and French, and we look at how that literature expresses and represents older persons, and whether there's a kind of a discrepancy. What is the conversation between this representation in literature and this representation in the very boring legal instrument?
Exactly. So the idea is to have a comparative study using 2 different disciplines, and without one discipline just serving as an illustration of points or arguments or content of the other. So coming from a literary background, what I am looking at is how old age and aging and older persons are represented in literature, in contemporary literature specifically, going out from the point that contemporary literature reflects the societies in which they are born. So we'll be looking at representations, at imagery, at constructs, at perceptions, and at the kind of network in which elderly people are embedded in narrative texts in French and in English. And we then hope to find either contrasts or common grounds between the literary and the legal texts, and also making use of other academic research that may have been done in a variety of fields. It could be transcultural nursing, it could be sociology, it could be psychology, it could be medicine. So across a wide variety of disciplines, and the way in which the representations in these texts are reflected either in literature or in the legal text to which Frans referred, and eventually coming up with an idea of true lived experiences or real representations of aging.